Good afternoon, everyone. I am extremely excited to be here on behalf of Zendesk to really start to engage in the conversation that we've had throughout the day. I first want to start by saying this has been an amazing day filled with sharing best practices, industry trends and standards, and more importantly, just an overall excitement for where the innovation and customer experience is going. So my intentions during our time together is really first to share a little bit about Zendesk, what we do, a little bit about our history. Secondly, highlight some of our customers who are utilizing our solutions. And then lastly, showcase our solution and what our customers are doing that help them be the company that their customers want them to be. So as we fast forward to the next slide, it was actually pretty interesting throughout the day to have people come up to our table and say, "Oh my goodness, we love Zendesk, I love Zendesk," and it's nice to know somebody knows us. But if you are not familiar with Zendesk, I wanted to first highlight a little bit about our history and our company's growth. So we were actually started in 2007 by 3 system integrators out of Copenhagen, Denmark. And the story goes that all of this innovation and all of this strategy actually started right in a living room on a desk. So our founders felt that there was a huge need in the customer support platform and the customer support industry to provide a solution that was not only simple and easy to use, but that it looked really, really good. So as we've grown throughout the course of our years in 2014 going IPO, we are now have grown to over 16 global offices with 2,300 dynamic employees, 125,000 amazing customers, and then lastly, a revenue run rate of $500 million with a goal to be at $1 billion by 2020. And as you see here, our support has literally blew up out of the water. We've grown from just a support platform to offering proactive engagement, chat solutions, self-service and knowledge management, and then lastly, telephony solutions and a full business intelligence built into our platform. And what you see here, we really truly believe that the best customer experiences are built with Zendesk. So some of the brands that you see here, we've actually brought up today, and we've actually talked about some of the things that we like that these brands are doing. And all of the ones that you see listed here are Zendesk customers. And one of the things that makes these brands unique is they believe exactly what Zendesk believe, that the companies and the brands that get the closest to their customers win. So we've heard Uber come up multiple times. Everyone, if by show of hands, who took an Uber today to the venue or took a rideshare service to the venue? Okay, anybody take any taxis? I don't see any hands for taxis, but I do see a few hands for Uber. And we know what Uber is doing, right? They're iterating technology. They're changing the game with the services and the pain points that they're solving for. And they actually are introducing a feature, if it's not already there, it's coming, where you can select to have Do Not Disturb for your ride so your Uber driver doesn't talk to you. Now, as you can tell with me, I love to talk, so I love my Uber rides. So that feature I probably would turn off because I really enjoy getting to know my Uber driver. But for some coming from the airport, traveling long miles, you don't want to be disturbed. And Uber's going to make sure you're able to select that as an option. Another one of our customers, Netflix, is actually unique, and I use Netflix personally every day. But they do a very good job at getting close to their customers because when I log into Netflix, I can already see suggested things that I should watch based on my history. I also, with Netflix, can have quick access to the videos and to the movies that I watch the most frequently. In my case, that's The Grinch, Boss Babies, and I think Trolls, because I have a 2-year-old little boy. But it knows that I need access to those movies very fast because he is not patient. But they understand me as a customer, right? They understand my history and they understand the desires of what I like to do day to day. But these are just a snapshot of just some of the brands that we work directly with who are really iterating and changing the way that they provide that unique experience to their customers. So when we look at these brands like the Ubers and the Airbnbs, we notice that one thing is also consensus outside of the experience that they provide for the end user, but also how they've made it seamless to connect with them from a support perspective. If I need a refund on my Uber, it's very easy for me to do that right within the app. I click on the support widget, I submit my request, and I can set it and forget it and know that someone's going to take care of that for me. So I posed the question to you all. We've talked a lot about this. Is your future CX state seamless and frictionless? Can your customers communicate with you on a variety of channels to where it doesn't matter how they reach out to you? The core of it is about the conversation. And one thing that we also like to note, and we've talked a lot about this, the channels are changing, Gen Z's coming up, right? How are you filtering in all of those communications, whether it's phone, chat, email, web form, and now we're getting into the Facebook and Instagram. As the Gen Zers like to tell me sometimes, hey, I hit up Uber and they weren't, they took care of my issue. They're changing the way that they communicate as customers. So another great example is how we communicate day to day is normal interaction, and that's how customers want to communicate with you. They want it to be natural. So a good example of this actually happened today. I emailed my husband and said, hey, what are dinner plans? So we decided where we were going to go, Little Alley Steak, one of my favorite places here in Atlanta. And I said, great, I'll let you know when I leave. So when I leave here, I probably will text him and say I'm about 45 minutes away. And then knowing me with my sense of direction, I'll probably get lost. And I'll have to call, right? But the communication with my husband has been seamless. He hasn't lost track of the conversation, thank goodness. But overall, that's how we naturally like to communicate in a variety of ways of different channels. But ultimately, the conversation is seamless and frictionless. So I wanted to now show and highlight some of the things that Zendesk is doing for some of our customers with our solutions that you go to probably every single day. One of the things that we like to pride ourselves in is if we don't want our customers or their customers to know that it's Zendesk powering these types of solutions. We want that journey for your customers to be seamless from beginning to end. So here's a great example of New Balance and what they're doing to create this omnichannel solution for their customers. So they've really blurred the lines and crossed over from sales, support, and marketing. So right from their home page, you can actually see this web widget here. As a customer, all I know is that I see help. So if I jumped into this web widget on New Balance's page, I actually can type in my question, and one of the things that our artificial intelligence technology will do is try to deflect some of those requests. So I know in experience we've talked a lot about how can we take care of the customer, how can we answer their questions, and that's super important. But one thing we haven't really talked about is the need to deflect some of the things that customers can probably take care of themselves. And New Balance is doing a great job of that. Another thing that New Balance is doing very well is their ability to embed all of this support in their mobile apps. So no matter if I'm on my cell phone or I'm on my web browser, I have full access to contact New Balance. I also have a full knowledge base to find articles. And then lastly, I actually can go view all of my tickets that I've ever submitted with New Balance without having to worry about what happened in the past. I have full access. So they're doing a great job at a seamless support. Another great example of a customer that we're actually working with is Instacart. And as you see here in the demonstration, it knows me as a customer and knows that I frequently buy milk. So what are they doing? The second I land on the web page, they're pushing out a proactive web message to me, letting me know, hey, Tareva, did you know you can set up reoccurring ordering on that whole milk that you purchase all the time? And so as a customer, I think this is amazing. I didn't have to ask. They offered this solution, and now this turns into a sale. And I'm already set up for reoccurring milk to come every 2 weeks. So Instacart is keeping that customer on that journey by automating a lot of that human touch on the front end. And then from an agent or support perspective, one of the speakers today really talked about the pain points that the call center agents were experiencing at not having the tools and resources to take care of their customers. And for Zendesk, as you see here, we've really wanted to make sure that agents have a simple and unified user interface, that no matter what channel their customers are reaching out to them from, whether it's chat, email, web, social media, it's all in one UI. But more importantly, that they have the contextual information to take care of that customer and other technology stacks that they may be using. So we love to say we want to eliminate the swivel chair. We don't want agents having to open multiple types of screens. We can integrate with any type of technology stack with our open API, allowing for agents to have access to the tools that they use the most. Another great thing that it comes to the simplified workflows, as you've seen here in this demonstration, is our ability to track your SLAs, or your service level agreements, making sure that customers are not waiting an extended amount of time to get support. And time has been the thing that's come up the most as the most valuable thing in most customers' lives. And this is a great example on how Zendesk does that for the customer, but also for the agent with productivity and efficiency tools. And then lastly, from an admin perspective, we are a full business intelligence resource, meaning every data point that comes into Zendesk, you can report on. Why your customers are reaching out to you, what some of their frustrations. We do sentiment analysis and predictive history on your customers, and then spit out all of this data for you to slice and dice and create the charts of your choice. And a lot of these reports are right out of the box, things you don't even have to build. We took our time to make sure that we had industry best practice reporting. So all in all, the big takeaways that we want you to have when it relates to how you take care of your customers is the first one, and this has been the commonality, is just do what we say we're going to do for our customers. Take care of them. Secondly, get ahead of your customer. If you can offer proactive engagement or you know that they're going to break something that typically gets broken, reach out to them ahead of time before those things happen. And then lastly, don't lose the thread. It shouldn't matter if your customers are calling, texting, chatting, or they're reaching out on social media. You should be able to filter all of those conversations into one single source of truth. So with that, I really appreciate the quick 10-minute demonstration up here for Zendesk. We are out front if you have additional questions or would like insight into Zendesk, but we would love to hear from you. So follow us on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. Thank you.